You've been asking for it. Finally, it is reality. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the All Cardinals podcast. My name, is Donnie. Enjoyed every week by my main man, Richie Bradshaw. So many exciting things to get into. Number one, though, before we even begin, we're doing a ticket giveaway for Falcons Cardinals, and we'll get into who's probably going to be making his Cardinals debut in that game a little bit later. But if you haven't seen it already, it's the pinned video on the channel. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel, comment on that video for your opportunity to win 2 tickets, section 131, row 8, to Falcons Cardinals here in about 2 weeks. Richie, Diamondbacks playing the World Series in about a little under an hour. And Josh Dobbs is no longer the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. I would say that's a pretty good day if you're an Arizona sports fan. But before we get into all that, how are you?
I'm pretty good, Donnie. So, Arizona State won over the weekend. I know there's lots of Valley fans out here that are Sun Devil fans. So I hope you guys were celebrating and checking out the Locked On Sun Devils podcast. But, bottom line is the Cardinals are going tune time. It is tune time, Donnie, and I'm very curious. We're live right now, so if anyone's tuned in, drop your comments. How do you guys feel? The thumbs up, thumbs down? What are your thoughts? Like, that's what we're here to discuss right now. So, Donnie, let's get into it, my guy.
Yeah, let's get into it. And based off of the Facebook comments I've seen on all the articles and posts and all the good stuff and the fan groups, many people have been waiting for this for a very, very long time. And it's weird because I want to start this yesterday after the game. They lost against the Baltimore Ravens, 5th consecutive loss. And Jonathan Gannon was asked about Josh Dobbs as a starter moving forward. He said, yeah, whatever he was asked if Dobbs would be the guy in Cleveland this upcoming Sunday. But less than 24 hours later, and probably a good time for Jonathan Gannon to sit down and review the film. And he found that, maybe Josh Dobbs is not the guy with Kyler Murray on the mend, whether it be this week or next week. We probably want to see what the 5th round pick in Clayton Tune has. Changed his mind, informed the media of it almost instantly. And here we are, my man. So this is the full quote from Jonathan Gannon this morning. He said, just real quick, talked to the quarterbacks this morning. We're going to be ramping up Kyler and see how he progresses through the week. If not Kyler, then it's going to be Clayton Tune. I've talked to all 3 quarterbacks, and we're all on the same page on how we're going to operate moving forward. I look forward to having a good week of prep. Cleveland 2-day trip. Try to go get a win.
Bro seriously said, actually, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
And
sorry about it.
Yeah, exactly. No big deal. Who knows, Donnie? Maybe he's just playing the matchup game because Clayton Tune did play with Cleveland, and Cleveland might be familiar.
Well, Dobbs played at Cleveland.
What did I say?
Tune.
Ooh, yeah, Dobbs. Dobbs played in Cleveland, so maybe they're just
Clayton Tune's about to find out what it's like to play in Cleveland, and not in a good way.
No, because that defense is arguably the best in football right now, and they've got a guy named Myles Garrett who's playing like a defensive player of the year.
Yeah, dude, he's doing crossovers before the ball's even snapped.
Dude, yeah, that is one of the most disrespectful things I can possibly. Didn't he get a sack on that play too?
He did.
Yeah, that is one of the most disrespectful acts I can think of. Like, you can say what you want about Randy Moss shooting the moon to the Packers fans, but doing cross-ups on the offensive line and then going and sacking their quarterback is pretty brutal, man. Like, this is going to be a really tough matchup for Clayton Tune, for Josh Dobbs, for Kyler Murray, for Colt McCoy, for Donnie Druin. Doesn't matter who's behind that offensive line taking the snaps. It's going to be a tough game. And for Clayton Tune, this is trial by fire. Like, this is being placed in a situation and saying, good luck. And you understand it to a certain extent. You've seen what you have out of Josh Dobbs. It's time to see what you have in a rookie that you drafted, and the expectation shouldn't be high. The expectation should be find a way to be somewhat competitive. Like, I don't even know if you can say be competitive in a game that's got Myles Garrett, that's got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, that's got Denzel Ward, that's got the LSU safety whose name's escaping me at the moment. Like,
so many players.
Dude, they've got a lot of really good players. So Darius Smith is there. Like, that is a defense that is just so talented. Greg Newsome at corner. They've got so many good players there that the expectation shouldn't be to win the game. It shouldn't be to have a Hall of Fame day. It shouldn't even be to like keep it within 2 possessions. If you do, that's thanks to the defense. Like, that's not even slandering the offense. It's just you're placing them against an absolute buzzsaw of a defense right now. So if you can find any kind of silver lining with Tune's start, that's a win in my book.
No, 100%. I do want to touch on Tune here a little bit. I want to steer the conversation a little bit towards Josh Dobbs and what we've seen from the former Browns quarterback. 8-game sample size thus far. The Cardinals said enough is enough before finally benching him. So give me your overall thoughts on Josh Dobbs from start to finish. And it looks like he has played his last, at least start as an Arizona Cardinal. I have mixed emotions about him, but I just want to get your 2 cents.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty mixed too. Like for the situation he was put in, I think he played admirably. And he brought an element that you haven't seen since Kyler Murray pre-injury last year, and that was a mobile quarterback that was able to extend plays with his legs, not just run for yards, but have those off script, off schedule throws, be able to improvise on the run when the play breaks down. He brought a lot of good to you, Donnie. And for trading for a guy with under a month before the season started to have him learn the playbook, I thought he did a good job. But ultimately, this is a what have you done for me lately league. And if you're looking at those box scores right there, he has thrown 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. They both came against the Ravens, and arguably both came in garbage time. Like, that game was really, really interesting. I don't really know what to do with that game, but it's weird. It was a weird game. We'll put it that way. But 2 touchdowns through the air in 3 weeks. He did have 2 rushing touchdowns. I get it. Not necessarily a performance that I want to write home about. And there's so much room for improvement here. And I think that's the reason you roll with an unknown right now is what if Tune is really good, right? What if Tune goes out and throws for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, right? It's like, okay, maybe we should roll with this guy a little more moving forward. It gives you even more reason to continue to rest Kyler Murray. Like if Tune goes out and plays well, you just have that much more incentive to say we can still take our time with Kyler. But Tune goes out and is like abysmally bad. Like I'm talking the Pittsburgh quarterback who threw 4 interceptions for his first game for the Bills against the Chargers. God, it wasn't Tom
Peterman?
Savage. Yes, Peterman. Yeah. So if that happens, Drew Peterman?
Nathan
Peterman.
Nathan Peterman.
If he has a Nathan Peterman performance, yeah, he's done. He can retire. But yeah.
I think regardless, we're going to see Kyler Murray 2 weeks from now, whenever the Cardinals are at home. I think Dobbs taking a step back and looking at the overall big picture of it, I think he did enough to probably warrant a spot on another roster, at least like the rest of the season if the Cardinals do decide to part ways with him, which probably not. I think he's still a good ad for the quarterback room, regardless of who's going to be starting, or even like potentially be a bridge guy next year, right? And I do think they asked a lot of him, bringing him in at the end of the preseason play, throwing the playbook at him. I think he had 6 practices before he was able to get that start.
Something
and
like
then
that, yeah.
you saw him kind of improve against the Giants in week 2. And then you saw them get the win in week 3, and you say, okay, well, now we're cooking, right? And like Josh Dobbs finally has found his footing. The Cardinals offense looks night and day better than what we had anticipated. Maybe this is the guy that can kind of steer the ship until Kyler Murray gets back. And then slowly but surely, I mean, dude, what happens every time you see a little flash in the pan like this? Teams get film on you, and they eventually figure out what kind of makes you tick, and then they exploit it, right? And it's just, unfortunately, Josh Dobbs has been a journeyman quarterback throughout his entire career for a reason, right? I mean, this is the first season he's strung together 3 consecutive starts as an NFL quarterback, and it's not any slander towards him. I mean, he's kind of living the dream now as a backup quarterback, bouncing place to place.
A lot of money to be made.
No, 100%. And I do like the different dynamic. It's not like a Kyler Murray dynamic whenever it comes to keeping defenses honest, but you knew he had the capability to tuck and run if he needed to, right? And we did see a handful of quarterback designed runs throughout the season for Dobbs, but he just didn't get it done as a pocket passer, man. He missed way too many reads, way too many open opportunities for the Cardinals to say, you know what, you definitely do give us the best option to win. Now we kind of get into that territory where Clayton Tune is going to be starting. We've already alluded to a little bit previously. On the road in Cleveland, I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but I do know what the defense is going to be like, and that's going to be such a tall task. And Richie, you kind of outlined why Clayton Tune may or may not struggle. My question for you now is, how much weight do you put into Tune's performance? Either way, right? Like, let's say Tune goes out, has a multi-interception performance. Do you hold it against him? Do you kind of say, hey, we asked a lot out of this 5th-round rookie? And people need to forget, he caused a lot of noise over OTAs, over training camp, over the preseason. He's still a 5th-round rookie for a reason, man.
Yeah, that's the most important thing to remember, Donnie, is like there shouldn't be expectations in this game. Like there truly shouldn't. You shouldn't go out there and say he needs to have X amount of yards, X amount of touchdowns, X amount of turnovers. That's not the way you should approach this game. You should approach this game as kind of we're going to see what's there. Like if he goes out and has a good game, cool. It sounds like he's going to be the primary backup for the rest of the year. If he goes out and sucks, it's like, okay, well, we tried. He's not going to be the answer for quarterback 2 on this team. I do agree with you with the logic of no matter what Tune does, you're going to have Kyler Murray back. I did mention that you could potentially see that as we can continue to take our time with Kyler, but this is at the same time, this is going to be a team that's like, as soon as he's ready, he's going out there kind of things. Yeah. But there shouldn't be any expectations, not high ones, not low ones. There should be none for Clayton Tune, a 5th-round rookie going up against, at worst, one of the five best defenses in the NFL this year. You just can't go out there and say that if he doesn't do A, B, and C, it was bad. That's not fair to him. That's my biggest thing, Donnie. No expectations. That's it.
I love that. Yeah, the story of my young dating life before I got married, no expectations. No, I do. I 100% agree. And I'm really glad that you brought that up because I think the Cardinals are in a really good position coming to Sunday because they're 1-7, right? Heading into week 9.
With the number 1 pick.
Nobody could have blamed them for making quarterback change, right? So, it's not like this move is kind of coming out of the blue. I mean, there were some people that thought that Tuna might have gone in at the end of yesterday's game against the Ravens, right? Before the Cardinals kind of flattered the scoreline a little bit and made it a little bit more likable just in terms of the box score. But dude, I 100% agree. And, such a tall task as Clayton Tune to go into this game and win you the game. But if I'm Jonathan Gannon, I'm telling my young quarterback, I'm saying, hey, dude, let it go. Just let the ball fly. Take chances, take opportunities. What's going to happen? We're going to lose. We're going to be 1-9. 1-8. We're going to have the number 1 pick still, right? Okay, we have Kyler Murray coming back regardless. This season, at least in my eyes, was always going to be the number 1 year in a rebuild where the Cardinals just kind of need to do what they need to do to get in and out of 2023, see what's working, see what's not, and then really kind of ramp things up in 2024 offseason. And we talked about before the regular season started, like the best case scenario if you're a Cardinals fan is that they're competitive, they play well, but not well enough to stack win on top of win. That's exactly what they've gotten so far.
That's perfect. It is what it is, man. Like,
it is what it is. Famous quote.
It is what it is. I don't know that I have too much to add on to what me and you have been discussing with him. Not to feed a fed horse at this point.
So Gannon, yeah, thank you for using the PETA.
The PETA safe.
Thank you. Gannon earlier did say that it was either going to be Kyler Murray or Clayton Tune starting. Ian Rappaport did tweet out today that Clayton Tune is expected to start. I think it's more so the team wanting to exercise Kyler Murray's 21-day practice window just to make sure that he is fully physically and mentally able to go. We had talked a little bit about Josh Dobbs. We talked a little bit about Clayton Tune, but I think the big takeaway from this news today is soon. Kyler Murray will be returning to a football field near you, probably I think it's week 10 against the Atlanta Falcons at home, which, by the way, if you're brand new to the podcast, you can win tickets to that game. You can win tickets to the games. Just go on to the
How
video,
do-
pin to the profile.
How
Number
do I
one,
win?
subscribe. Gotta be subscribed, bro. Number two,
Okay. What else do I got to do?
gotta comment on the video. Just
Got
give
to
me
comment.
your favorite Cardinals memory. The winner will be randomly drawn. I'm not picking out myself. We'll release a video next Monday announcing the winner, and I'll be in contact with them. So great. Wrapping up this very, very brief live, Richie, Jonathan again today said, Josh Dobbs, you're out of there, man. It's probably going to be Clayton Tune. They're not completely shutting the door on Kyler Murray, but I would not expect Murray to play this week. It's Tune time in Arizona. I think it's very, very exciting, regardless of what happens, because if the Cardinals win, right, Tune probably plays pretty well.
Yeah. If you win that game, you need Clayton Tune to be good. Not even manage the game. You would need him to play good football because it's going to be a slugfest. It's Cleveland's offense is mediocre with the quarterbacks they've got going on and not having Nick Chubb. This could easily be like a 10-6 final, a 10-7 final. It truly could be
an Iowa football game final.
Oh my God, dude. The sickos absolutely love Iowa football. And I know that they could set an over-under of that game at 15.5 and you would take the under.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there, Donnie. You would need him to play good football this year. In this game to win this. You need him to minimize turnovers. You need him to score points. That would be how you win this game. But you shouldn't go into it with those kind of expectations. I cannot say that enough.
No, I 100% agree with you. Do not have any expectations for this game whatsoever. It's a game the Cardinals are probably going to lose, especially throwing a 5th-round rookie out to one of the best defenses who are playing at home, by the way. And I know neither you or I, for various reasons, are not super high on the Cleveland Browns, right? The dog pound isn't exactly a friendly place to play if you're a visiting quarterback, right? So nonetheless, man, it is indeed Tune time in Arizona. I think it's something a lot of fans have been waiting for, just to see him at least for one game. See what you have out of the rookie quarterback with Kyler Murray on the brink of return. We are going to go ahead and close this very, very brief live. So all 2 of you currently on the channel right now, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the All Cardinals podcast. Follow Richie on Twitter at RichieBrads36. Follow me on Twitter at Donnie and Druin. I cannot hammer this enough. 2 tickets giving away, section 131, row 8, Falcons, Cardinals, Kyler Murray's probable return. And go and check the video out on the profile. But until then, deuces.